Welcome to another video for the Fusion on Loyalty series. In this particular case, we are going to be talking about stores and locations. This is a very important setting, and one that we recommend that is one of the first ones that you have completely set up and defined before you actually start populating your platform. The reason of this is because it gives you the option of how to organize your market regions in the platform. This particular case is showing already two different regions, United States and Canada. Well, thinking that the company is operating in both countries. But if you are only in the United States or in Canada or any other country, or even if you are in one state, you can actually define these regions to a more specific level. For example, if you are only in the United States, maybe instead of one massive United States region, you can set up by states. So you can create a region for Florida, you can create a region for Washington State, etc., etc. And then once you have your regions defined, then you go into store groups. This is your second layer of how to organize your stores, basically. And as the name says, I mean, you can create certain categories where as you create stores, then you can actually allocate those stores into these specific groups or categories. For example, we have bakeries, beauty stores, cafes, etc. So if I'm going to create a new bakery store, and I create a store, then at the time that I'm creating that, I'm going to be asked, okay, what store group this store belongs and what region in particular. And also we have here, important to mention, an example for, well, there's certain organizations that have both corporate stores and maybe franchise stores. So some stores that they own as a corporation, but also they sell franchise to franchisees, and which are operated by obviously the third party that bought the franchise. So they can actually set up here two different storefronts, so they can actually organize those stores properly for reporting. Now, in this particular case, in this demo, we're going to be actually creating a music store. So I'm going to create a new store group. It's going to be a music and arts. I'm going to make this a little general for maybe for later purposes. Okay, so save. And now that I have defined all my my store groups, then I'll go to stores. Here's an example of some of the stores that already exist in this demo. And if I go to the app, stop in the stores. So these stores are the ones that actually appear here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be adding one more, a new one. So create store. This one in particular, as we say, it's a music store. So it's going to be Rick's Music. And then it comes, okay, so what store group does this belong? Okay, we just created music and arts. And what region? In this case, I'm going to say United States. But again, you can actually define in your regions, you can go as specific as worked for you. So this is going to be United States. So I'm going to upload the logo, image, or whatever I want to actually illustrate this in the app. Okay, Rick's Music. It's a little description where the best music is. Categories. I'm going to say music and arts, and I'll show you in another video where you can define the categories for stores. This is slightly different than store groups, but it will be a theme for another video. Schedule, I mean, basically what is when is the store open, and this is basically textual information. So I'm just gonna say it 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. External ID. This is the field where once you have, if you're using Fusion point of sale, this is where you will actually enter the ID for the particular um, point of sale that you're using in this store. So, for example, if Rick's Music has several stores, for each of those stores, you're going to create obviously one entry, one store, and because each one will have a different address, and also will have different POSs associated with that store. In this particular case, for this demo, I don't have one specific, so I don't need to enter anything. External group ID, I'm just going to leave it open, and I'm going to save it as a draft right now because I'm not finished. Oops. So I can see now that Rick's Music here still is a draft. It hasn't been published. It's not going to show up in the app. Okay, so if I had continued just moving from tab to tab, well, the system OnLoyalty will allow you to be saving as you go. So you don't need to really actually click save as draft. I was just going to show you that it's already posted in the list as a draft, but it's not available in the app yet. Anyway, for contact information, I'm just going to enter obviously some fake numbers, but real to the region that I wanted to actually use in the demo. So right now we're gonna assume that the store is in Miami. So Rick's Music at fakeweb.com. Okay, and the rest of the information, I mean, is good to enter it if you have it, like the URL, I mean, your website and the Facebook URL, etc. It's good to enter it if you have it, because it will show up in the app. Just like an example, for example, Sophia Beauty Salon. So it shows you the website. Well, in this case, it's using Fusion because it's a demo. But if you don't enter anything in these fields, this won't actually show up in the app. So right now we're just going to leave it in phone and email, um, just for the purposes of this demo. But I do recommend that if you have them, enter all this information. For address, I'm just going to enter the fake store address, which for this purpose is going to be 960 Alton Road. That's in Miami. So here we go. Because of the integration of OnLoyalty with Google Maps, Google Maps start actually showing you the different options that coincide with what you are actually entering or typing. So in this case, I have it here. Perfect, gives me the location. Now I'm ready, and I'm going to save this. Great. Now we can see the Rick's Music is published, and if it hasn't been published, because maybe you skip one step here, or some of the information, particularly maybe if the phone number was incorrect or not the proper format, it will just keep it as a draft, and you will need to come here. And well, in this case, because it's already published, it says publish. But before that step, if you remember, it used to say draft and publish. So if you enter a wrong phone number, for example, or in the wrong format, you still need to publish the store here. But for right now, Rick's Music has been published. So if I go to the app, I just want to pull down to update, and I go to stores. Here is Rick Music is now available here. It shows me the distance. Now I have to clarify, I'm actually in Vancouver, Canada, so that's why it's showing in kilometers. If I was in the United States, it will show in miles, and obviously it shows that I'm pretty far away from this store. But If I tap Rick's Music, as you see, it's not showing my website, my Facebook, anything, because I didn't enter that information. But it does show the address. So if I actually tap on the address, it shows me Alton Road and where the actual store should be. And okay, so I'm just gonna go back. And yeah, that's basically how you enter a store, and that's how you manage regions. Remember, think about this as different layers on the how to organize your market or your store regions. Like in this case, we have United States and Canada. But again, if you are only United States or only in one state or even in one city, you can actually define your regions as you want, as is convenient for you. It doesn't have to be geographical locations. It could be whatever you think is ideal for your purpose. Then store groups, again, is how to categorize or group uh, your stores. Like if you are a shopping mall, for example, you may have all the different categories of stores in your shopping mall, and then each of the stores, as you create them, then you select which store group and which region they belong to. Okay. Thank you for your attention, and we'll have more videos for you.